here to talk about canine distemper, waiting for our public, our invitators, people that you are asking to come to our live or this little talk where you talk about treatment of canine distemper with acupuncture. The reason that you are doing these lives about this treatment is because here in Brazil, where I am, is a place where some colleagues and some people don't believe or don't think about the possibility of work with acupuncture in the acute stage of treatment to canine distemper. So when I was talking with a colleague, we talked about the possibility to offer to our public this message, these informations on respect of this kind of treatment, because if you have more possibilities on a very complicated and a very difficult disease, of course that is one important information that we want to share with most people possible. In our country, here in Brazil, this information about the use of the treatment of canine distemper was really about the treatment only at the chronic stage, only when the patients were very compromised. So it was very difficult to have good results, very difficult to make these animals in a better way of life, with a quality of life. So we start to do these lives. We did 2 lives in Portuguese, once with one colleague and another with 2 colleagues. At the first ones, we talk about this condition and why people don't use this treatment like a tool to the acute cases. Sometimes because the animals on this moment are exactly into a hospital, and not all of them have acupuncturists on an animal hospital. So if you have the possibility to have an acupuncturist on the hospital where your animal, your pet, your cat, not cat in the case, your dog, your other animal is being treated, it's very important, it's very positive if you have someone able to treat this animal with acupuncture. Acupuncture is a very powerful treatment for a lot of conditions, especially if you are treating virus, because medicine don't have yet a virus treatment really, because virus is not an entity like us, it's not a body. It's another talk, not for today. So it's very good if you have a lot of possibilities that you can call integrative veterinary medicine, or for humans integrative medicine. And if you see, for example, the treatment in people in China for the COVID, in this COVID pandemic time, a lot of people there have received treatment with Chinese medicine, received herbs that in ACT, in AC blood, herbs that depend of the moment it's possible to take out the heat, the toxic heat, some of have two herbs that help the movement of this chi when they improve the chi and improve the movement of the chi. Uh, so we have a lot of conditions, a lot of situations that is possible to use on a patient with canine distemper, especially if you are at the principle of the pathology. We know that if a virus go into a body, into a patient, the only reason that they go into this body is because the Wei Qi, the protection, the natural protection of the body, the Wei Qi that is in our skin, that is uh, in our secretions and another parts of the body, they that type of Wei Qi protection, the our immunological system are decreased, because if our immunological system is fine, if it is health, if it is powerful, none kind of virus will come to our body. This is the same for animals or for humans. This is the same if you are having COVID or if you are having a flu or other type of virus infection. So it's very important that us or that we or our animals are in very good moment, with a good uh, food, with a good balance of energies, balance of mind, balance of body, with movement, exercise, and a very good food, very nutritive food. So, canine distemper is a pathology, is an invasion of heat, if a toxic heat that invade our body and promotes the deficiency of blood, qi, and deficiency posterior on a big deficiency of jing. So we have to treat these conditions. We have to see exactly which is the moment that this patient is. How we see in talked in the last one of our lives, Dr. Marcia Valerio, like she talked because she worked with animals into a hospital, so she can see the animals in the morning, at the midday, at the finish of the day, and that animal they show different conditions, different movements of energy, of perverse chi on the body at different time of the day. So it's very important to you to know about the etiopathogyny of the this pathology, the movement of energy on the body, the movement of uh, if this energy is, if this evil chi is more superficial or if it's more deep on the body. It's very important to see what exactly is happened on that body, but for you treat this condition. This is very important. And how she said, it's very important that we uh, learn about this. We learn about the conditions that we have. We learn about the moment that this dog or this ferret or other, if you have a panda with canine distemper, because it's possible, it's very different moments. So if you are treating this animal in a acute moment, this is the best moment for uh, you try to help this animal. If it's possible, always will be much better. We know in my experience and in the experience that Dr. Alice that was talking about, Canine Distemper some some minutes ago. Uh, Unfortunately, we only received patients in the chronic stage, so this time is much more difficult to treat these patients because they are with the EVT inside, deep in the body. They are with the EVT in the at the brain. Normally, they start at the skin, go to the lung, and after go to the brain. So more deep to the brain and the nerves. So at this moment it's much more difficult to have good results. Probably we'll have some kind of symptoms that will persist sometimes, like wind, like nervous tics and something like that. So this live is just for uh, clarify this kind of thoughts that some colleagues or some people have, that you cannot. Yes, you can, you have to, you must treat uh, our patients with canine distemper the most early that is possible. We can use diet, Chinese diet, about the food, because we can enhance the blood, we can enhance the qi for treat the conditions. You can depend, of course, depend of the moment. You can use food to help to clear the hot, the the heat, the heat toxins that are in the body. So the same, you can use the herbs, the Chinese herbs, to clear the heat, the toxin, the heat. It's possible to use Chinese herbs. The same is possible to use the Chinese herbs to enhance the blood, the qi. Of course, uh, all these conditions, all these uh, types and moments of treatment depends which are the moments that this patient is. This was one thing that Dr. Um, Dr. Dani, that talked with us at the last live, was talking about one very important thing, that if you are putting much more chi and in the moments that the body is very compromising with the virus, that the virus is replication in the moment of a big replication, of course that you are going to we are giving chi for the virus too. So we have to know exactly what's the time to use each tool, each uh, movement that you are doing have to be completely understood for we have the best results. Today, talking with Dr. Alice, she talked for us about the treatment of uh, old shoe, the points called old shoe, that it's a very important point used in Chinese medicine, and they used like a movement, like an spiral, to make that chi, that energy that was very deep in the body, they make that this energy flow in the body, or they make that this energy that comes to our body by the energy from the universe, that these movements make that this energy that comes from the universe can be into the channels and make a very like a spiral movement go into the body for enhance it's a natural maneuver to enhance the energy in the body of the patient. This is a very interesting technique too that she used. Of course, that this type of treatment she used in a chronic cases. If you are using this in acute case, of course that the patient will have a biggest charge of virus, because if you are putting more energy inside the body at the moment that the virus is in a replication is it is it will be a very to have a much more quantity of virus into the body, because you are giving to them more energy to do it. So this is a very important situation that we know exactly in which moment we will use each type of tool that you are using in Chinese medicine. So it's very important that you know the techniques, that you study a lot, how said our colleague Dr. Marcia Valeria. It's important that you never stop to study. We are always learning. This is something that you know that's happened in our life, in our jobs, in our moment of life. Uh, I would like to talk to about the movements. The we are we think at first time that canine distemper it's a pathology that occurs only in poor countries. This is one type of thought that occur, for example, in my country, in Brazil. But you know that it really is not. We have some other countries, for example, United States, where there are some cases of canine distemper. Sometimes because uh, some tutors don't want to uh, do the vaccination on the animals. Sometimes our colleague from the United States, Richard Palms, that made that did a paper, made a paper and present in an international conference in China in 2018. He said that sometimes we think about uh, change of the virus, like we see now at coronavirus. The virus can change their DNA, or so this vacuum that exists sometimes is not so effective to other type of changing virus. He talked too about the possibility that some vacuums some people doesn't want vacuums. Yeah, they are animals too. In Brazil, especially, we have some types of vacuums that are not so important, are not so good on treatment, and sometimes these dogs have canine distemper. And we're talking about how canine distemper can be help with the use, like you talk about the use of herbs, the use of food, the use of all things that can enhance the immunological system. This is the most important thing. Talking about virus, all kinds of virus only penetrate, only go into our body if your immunological system are down, if you are not strong and healthy. And let me see. We are talking about some some explanations, some important points that Dr. Richard Paxton exposed on his work, his paper on this conference, that humans can be infected. They cannot have canine distemper, but there are some papers talking about human being infected by canine distemper virus, and this person will this virus, this infection, it's believed that this virus is one of cause of multiple sclerosis. So this is a very interesting information and important information that we don't know about that. And this is a paper, very recently paper. So other important thing is that some dogs, the condition of obesity can be related with canine distemper infection, canine distemper virus. So some dogs that are with obesity, that have this condition, and sometimes it's very difficult to lose weight, they they are infected with canine distemper virus. This is one important information. That is correlated. Another thing that is not about acupuncture, but one important information too that Dr. Richard show in his paper is about the use of Newcastle vacuum on Newcastle vaccine on the animals infected at the 4th day of infection. So they have a very good results when they use Newcastle vaccines on these animals at the 4th day. There's some papers that talk about this condition, and we would like to share with you these informations. Dr. Richard too talked that in acute cases you can diminish the quantity of days of the treatment in one part when you use acupuncture on acute moment. So if you have a dog that starts with canine distemper, you can start at the same time the treatment with acupuncture, with Chinese medicine, or with which technique that you think about, that you think that will work on the diminish of the increase of the pathology, so they can reduce like 1/3 too of the quantity of the days that this animal will be treated. So this is something that you know about integrative veterinary medicine. When you integrate the conventional medicine with acupuncture, with chiropractic, I used chiropractic in my patients with canine distemper, and all the techniques that you can use for make a better recovery, all will be very helpful, especially if you use herbs, if you use the correct acupuncture, the correct moment, the correct needle. So you will have a very good results or not, depends which the moment, depends of your choice. And all these explanations, I remember here Dr. Marcia Valeria at our first talk, she talked about the use of semi-permanent implantation. that use of collagen, the collagen used for suture. So uh, especially in the animals that are very chronic, in a very chronic phase, like mummified, she used to send these animals special because the owner, the tutor, is have not much money to spend with this animal, so she sent this animal to home with a very good diet, with a diet that improve the blood, improve the gingier, improve the chi, and for 1 month. And after, this dog will back to the hospital, and she will do this technique of collagen. They used of the collagen at the points of the acupuncture points, uh, that exactly she didn't say exactly which points she used, but of course points that will improve the blood too, improve the chi, and make a better nutrition of uh, the kidney, and help it at the wind, help it to if it still have heat, help it uh, to to water element, to make some not cold, but to take out the heat, and of course that to improve this technique she used, uh, is called semi-permanent technique, and make like third at 6 days of treatment, intermittent. It's different of the normal permanent technique that use the gold. You do the implantation of gold on the points of acupuncture that you want to work permanently, or for 1 year, sometimes almost two. But this is different. This technique is used especially for animals with joint problems, chronic joint painful, and uh, we talk about the bioenergetic treatment, with is treating the levels of energy. Uh, that is almost a principle, like the principle that Dr. Alice talked to, because you are changing or modifying the levels of energy on the body, and this is very important, and is another thing very important to care about, because for example, if you have a dog in a canine distemper after the initial phase or gastrointestinal phase, and you use a point like stomach 36, probably you have much more problems at the gastrointestinal, because it will enhance the movement of the bowels. So if you are having diarrhea, probably this diarrhea will enhance. So you always have to pay attention, not only at the function of the point, but still at the level of the evil chi, the level which is the evil chi on the body. This is very important to pay attention. Uh, of Dr. Remember here, Dr. Dani of Bioenergetic talked to about the use of moksha, one technique that used the 6 points of sacrus bone. So you use it in each side, three, and you have 2 points in each side of the sacrum, and he used moksha on these points. For acute cases, he told me that is very interesting treatment. The special if you have a brain involvement too. So I think that is that you talked about on these days, on these lives. I hope that I should have some additional information for you. If you think that this kind of information is positive, that I really think that it is, and we can share this information with others, because like you talked in other life, sometimes this animal have no more choice to be alive, and when you implement the Chinese medicine and the Chinese techniques, the techniques of Chinese veterinary medicine, you can enhance, you can improve the quality of results, or sometimes it's just the fact that you are able to save the life of this animal. Sometimes you make that one, that a dog with canine distemper can walk again, or can move again, can have a life much more close to the normal. And sometimes uh, the only choice that they still have is the acupuncture, is the Chinese medicine. So I think that it's very important that you share this information. So there is a plane here in this point. There is a little plane, so you can send this short live for 2, 3, 10 persons that you know, that you say you know that love dogs, love animals, because not only dogs, a panda, a wolf, other type of bear, um, a lot of types of rents are able to have distemper. So it's very important that we can be able to treat these animals at the best way. I'm very thankful that for all of you that here on this time, and I hope that you having a good time. Unfortunately, we are still with coronavirus here and in the world. And remember that you can treat coronavirus with acupuncture too. I treated myself. I was with the infection at my lungs, and it was starting to be difficult to to breathe, and I treat myself with acupuncture. I was using herbs to improve my immunological system too, and I was very good. I had very good results, and I am here now. So thank you for your time. I hope that you have very good weekend, and I see you in another time. Thank you.